Hi, CCF here. Second in the CHIA BiteSize tutorials, and this is going to show you how very easily to introduce the plow.py Python 3 script to your plotting setup so that you can very quickly copy finished plots from your SSD drives, NVMe drives, to other locations on your network, your mass storage devices. I'm going to show you how to do it here, but I'm simulating it, but I'll explain that when we get to it. Now, the very first thing you've got to do is go to GitHub and get the plow script, and that's very easily done by going to this location, https://github.com/iMacken/plow. And don't worry, I will put this in the description, all of these links and commands, so you very easily get the file and install the support for it. So when you go to the GitHub location, you'll see there's a file here called plow.py. I'm sorry if this is slow, I'm trying to do it through a mobile phone on my Linux computer rather than do it on the PC that I'm making the video on. So there are many ways to get this plow.py script onto your Linux box. I simply clicked it, and then it goes to another page, and then you'll get this option here, and you can see that says, if you hover over it, download raw file. So you click that, and then in your download options at the top here, you'll see it downloads the file, and then if you click the folder, it opens it up and shows you that you've got that file there. You can see I've done it a couple of times, that's why I've got another one there. But don't worry about that, let's get rid of that one and pretend that we only downloaded it the first time, this one here. And then I right click and I clicked cut, and I pasted it to a folder on my home drive, and that folder I put in my BladeBit folder where I'd already previously downloaded the BladeBit software. It's just a good place to put it. So you can see here I created a folder called plow and I pasted it in there. So that's phase one. We've got the plow.py script. Now what do we have to do? Well, we can't run it straight off the bat. There are a couple of things we've got to do. We've got to put some couple of commands in to get the required support files. So I did that from a command window. So I ran this application here, which brings up a command window, and then from the top you can see the first thing I did was run from the command line sudo apt install python 3-pip, and then that installs some support, and it will put a prompt up to say, do you want to continue? It's going to use 34.6 megabytes of additional disk space. I said why, fine, and then it goes ahead and it gets the required files. Okay, so that was stage one, and then the next bit, if I can just find the prompt, the next bit was to do this command, and that is pip space install space aionotify. And that does a very similar thing and installs some bits and pieces, and that is all you need for support. So that's very easy part to do. The next bit to do is to go to your plow.py script, which I said I'd copied to my plow location here, and you right click it and open with text editor. Now the writers of this script have been very helpful, and they've put a lot of comments in against each area. I didn't have to touch any of the other areas at all. The only two that I was concerned with is my local plot source and my destinations. Right, so let's deal with the source first. Now I've got two NVMe drives on my machine, so I want to simulate for you the movement from one of those, my temp disk 02, to my temp disk 01. So dealing with the source first, in the sources area here you will have an empty square bracket section, and you put the the source of your finished plots, which will be your final destination drive. Now I had to put it in single quotes. You might not have to. The reason I had to put it in single quotes is because my drive name in Windows was, when it was previously housed on there, was temp-dsk-02, and Linux didn't like the fact that I prefixed a numeric with a 0 here. So all I did was encased it in single quotes. You might not have to if your name of your disk does not have it. And then for the destination, you can have obviously multiples, and they're comma delimited, and they're in double quotes. So I've only got one destination drive, which is the other disk, which is dsk-01. So I'm telling it to source from the 02 drive and copy any plots it finds on there to the 01 drive. Now if I'd had several network locations that I had mounted which had disks on, let's say I had some drives that I'd mounted that were temp disk 01, 03, 04, etc, etc, all I would do is duplicate that area with a comma between it. So you can specify multiple drives and have it doing it in parallel. So you just put a comma here. Sorry, it's a little bit difficult to do looking at it through the screen, but you just put a comma on the end there and copy that whole quoted section and duplicate it with the name of the second destination, third, fourth, and so on. So this can copy to multiple destinations at the same time using threading, and it will distribute your plots a lot faster. So in my scenario I've just got one, so I've just put one for now. It's not very suitable to do that because obviously your plotting machine is going to create these a lot faster than it can copy them off the final destination NVMe. So you know, my timings I've seen under 5 minutes for a plot creation, but it takes 6 minutes and a bit to copy it off one at a time to one location. So obviously over time your final NVMe is going to get full and you're not going to be able to get the plots off quick enough. So you do need at least 2 destination drives in order for Plow to work effectively. But for this demonstration it's fine because I'm just using my 2 internal NVMe's to show you how it's done. The only thing I had to make sure was that I'd mounted both these drives, so that was by right clicking on them and mounting them. You can see they've got an unmount option at the moment because they're both mounted, and they have to be mounted, otherwise Plow can't talk to them. So you would have to mount all the references to your destination drives. So as you can see here on temp disk 02, which is the destination area, 3 plots are on there. I started off with 7 plots on I started off with 7 plots on temp disk 02. There's 3 left because it's managed to send 4. If you just bear with me, I'll put some details on. You can see it's already copied 4 of the 7 over to the other location. So Plow's working fine, and I'll show you how I started the Plow script. And that was using this command here, very easy, from your Plow directory, Python 3 plow.py, and it starts up and it says watching your source directory, which was media harrier temp disk 02, and then it says plotting to the O1 location, and it shows you that the plot it has picked up is being copied to your required destination, and that's one thread. And then it shows you when it's completed this rsig line to show you that it has removed the source file. So the file has gone from the source directory and it's just been moved to the destination now. And it does that for each command. So you can see there it's got a number of them, and they're all got this quite nice icon to show you what's going on each line. Now obviously the more drives you've got mounted, attached and configured in your plow script, more of these lines will appear at the same time. But I'm doing it one at a time, so you can see it's just dealing with it one at a time. But it gives you a time down here showing you how long it took. So as you can see, between 6 and 7 minutes. The first one took 6:41, 6:14, 6:09, 6:22. So, and that's just copying to an internal drive on this PC. Might be a little bit quicker over a network drive, I'm not sure. But with a 5-minute plot creation time, you can see after a while I'm not going to be able to get these plots off quick enough one at a time. So very different to when I was in Windows and it was a 25-minute plot time and about a 15-minute copy time. The copying would not cause a race condition, and I could get the plots off quick enough. But on here, with one drive as the destination, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to get them off the final destination drive quick enough. So you're going to need to use multiple destinations, at least a minimum of 2, so that it can do it in parallel and get them off quick enough. But that's it. That's Plow. So I know it sounds daunting when you look at it. I've seen some other tutorials, YouTube videos on doing it, and yes, they speed through the Linux commands very quickly, and it's very hard to get a grip on what's required and what's not required, as they're writing so many commands at the command line. But here in this GUI version of Linux Mint, it is so much easier to mount the drives and just do what's required. So very simple. Those steps are getting the plow script from Git onto your machine, adding the support with those 2 further statements to install support for Python 3, and then it's just configuring your source and destination drives in the script and running it. So I'll put full details of that in the description. I hope that's been useful. It's been a good learning exercise for me. I've got it all in place now, ready for when I get some more drives and start thinking about plotting. Not sure what compression level it's going to be yet. With the hard fork coming up, I'm undecided as to where I'm going to go at the moment. But at least that's the plotting machine up and ready now, in Linux Mint, a lot faster than Windows. So it's been definitely a worthwhile exercise. Next thing I've got to tackle is my harvester. But for now, that'll do. Give that a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, a thumbs down if you didn't. And please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon, because it all helps the channel, and it'd be good to get my videos out there. But thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.